Here we go to the race. We've got 5 red lights. And the lights are off. There's a jump start there for the McLaren. And away we finally go. And I think it's a pretty even start. But Ads obviously is in first. He will obviously be getting a penalty post-race for that. But Neb has been able to hold off Reese as they go through the first corner. Reese tries to have a little look down the inside as they enter into Village. There is a Williams there who was looking to try and make a move there. I think is that a spin for Raven? I think Raven has spun it. That is not what, and White Josh as well. White Josh has dropped some places, so that is not what they would have wanted. And Powell there to the inside of the McLaren, dives down the inside of Stowe. Is he going to be able to make it stick? He's going to leave enough space, enabling overtake to try and get some extra speed as they go into the final few corners. Is he going to be able to hold it around the inside? Yes, he does. Is he going to leave space for the McLaren? I think there's a little bit of contact. However, I think Atom has even got in on that as well. And yeah, Atom has overtaken both of them. Powell and Cynthium are still going side by side as they enter through Abbey. And there were some drivers in the back there as well of Choke, Luke, and Alfie wanted to try and get back on this. Alfie has made a dive there on a few drivers. Oh, and that's a spin there for Cynthium and there's someone else as well, Choke. Cynthium and Choke are the worst drivers off that battle there. Luke and Mick going side by side there. Oh, as they go through Club. And I was worried if there was going to be a little bit of a Alex Albon moment there as they go through there. Oh, and there's a spin there at the back. I think that was White Josh. No, it was the Deep Cave. I think he locked the rears or something. And yeah, I think his tyres are pretty cooked now. Power and Ads there. Well, Ads is still disconnected. I don't know if someone can get him back in the session. I don't think I have him added, so I can't really add him back. Although, as Powell saying that, oh, and he's crashed and he's DNF'd, and we have a safety car there, and he crashed into Zalagi. Zalagi tried to, or I think it was Zalagi. I think it might have actually been Remote Banjo that made contact because they're losing an end plate. So they might have to pit. 2 drivers have entered the pits. Reese tries to go around the outside of the Red Bull. And look at that traction he has. Absolutely sends it. Taps Neb a little bit. I don't know if Neb will be thinking that he pushed a pass there a little bit. And that is Reese up into the lead as they go through the loop. That was a great overtake. Mighty King now is going to be able to try and make an overtake on Neb if he can get closer. But Neb is getting very close to Reese. But Neb can't make it stick. He has to stay behind. Mighty King getting very close to Neb. Is he going to be able to try and make an overtake as we go into Village? Village is probably the next, or probably the best overtaking spot. And down the inside he goes. Little bit of a late camera angle we got for that. But that is Mighty King up into P2. And as it stands, it is an AlphaTauri 1-2. And he's gone for the send there into Village. Is going to be able to make it stick though, but no, Wizzy Boy with a better traction around the outside is able to hold his line. I think Wizzy Boy was actually going to try and make a move on Matthew as well, but isn't able to get it. Still side by side as happened to Atom and Wizzy Boy. Wizzy Boy trying to force him off a little bit there. And now as we go into Brooklands, who's going to be latest on the brakes. And I think Wizzy Boy just has that inside and is able to just cover him off. Very good defending driving there from Wizzy Boy. I don't know how Atom, though, would fear against the defensive, though. But you can see that Atom still trying to fight this back as they go side by side through Woodcut and into Cops. Is he going to be through? Yes, he is. Atom up into P6. Oh, and that's Neb, who has been swallowed on that straight. I think he might have had a moment out of Chapel, and he has lost a couple of places there. Now is Raven going to try and make an overtake on the Williams? Yes, he does. Down the inside goes Raven West. And he is already past. Very good move from Raven up into P9 now. What other battles are there out on track? As we say that, Wizzy is trying to make a move on Neb. Down the inside he goes. And then Neb has the inside, but will Wizzy Boy be able to have the better traction on the outside? Even Alfie is going to try and get on this. They're going to be too wide through Aintree in the wet. And I don't know how both of them were able to go through there without, one of them spinning. It's a very good compliance between each driver. Wizzy Boy is still going to try and hold this. I think Atom went a little bit wide. Wizzy's going to try and hold this around the outside, although the Haas there has kind of left the session, and that has put Wizzy out of control and into the grass. And I don't think Wizzy Boy will be happy about that. Alfie was able to get in front of both of them. And then we have a VSC, as I think that's Wavy, who is just spinning all over the track right now. Obviously, most drivers now heading into the pits, so it's a very crucial time to head into the pits, as you do not lose a lot of time, as obviously the fresher inters are much better around here, as we see Zalagi, Wizzy Boy and Mick going side by side there. Look at Mick though. Mick is going to try and make a double overtake on both of these drivers. What a move that was from Mick. Although I think he's just now been overtaken by the Aston there. Is Mick going to try and hold it around the outside? No, he doesn't. He stays behind. We'll go on board with Alfie. As you can see there, he goes down the inside of the Red Bull and is passed as they go into Brooklands. See there, though, Neb tries one down the inside as they go into Cops, and to be fair to him, he was able to make it move, but Alfie on the outside as they go into Maggots and Beckett's just has to stay behind. So I don't know where Neb found that traction, but just swooped one down the inside of Cops. And is Alfie going to try and send one down the inside as they go into Village? No, taps the back of the Red Bull. Don't see the Red Bull spinning though, so probably all just a bit of friendly racing there. But Alfie there spots the mistake by the Red Bull, goes down the inside. Might have been caused by him, but that is Alfie now back into P3. But Neb with the better speed. He's going to go down the inside, and Neb is passed almost. Alfie might try and fight this around the outside as they go into Luffield now. And Alfie is able to get in front, but Neb, as you can see there, very eager to try and get past this Alfa Romeo once again. Neb, though, will have the speed on the Alfa Romeo. And into Stowe, he gets back in front. These two are probably just going to be switching and switching and switching until the checkered flag, unless, you know, one of them makes a mistake or crashes. Laggy and Mick going side by side, though, as we go down the Hamilton straight into turn 1. Thought Zalagi needed space there, and I think Matthew did spot that, but Zalagi now down the inside. He's unable to make it. Matthew then covers it off. But does Zalagi have the better speed to try and re-overtake as we go into Brooklands? Obviously, he's going to have slipstream. He's going to be burning his battery. Down the inside he goes, and it's going to be side by side as we go into Brooklands. And Zalagi is through there. Wizzy Boy sending a move there down the inside of Luke. Isn't able to get it though. Mighty King is going to try and fight this as well. Oh, as Luke and Wizzy cause a bit of contact. Luke has been forced to go off the track, and Wizzy Boy is passed. I'm not sure Luke will be happy about that. Maybe reporting that to the stewards. You can see there Raven now getting a little bit of oversteer there. But he's burning his battery to try and get past Neb. Down the inside he goes. Is Wizzy going to try and follow him? No, but that is Raven past Neb. Neb is going to try and make a switch back if he can, but he isn't able to. In the wets, Wizzy, is he going to try and send one down the inside of the Red Bull? Yes, he does, as you go into Vale and now into Club. Is he going to be able to do it? He holds one round the outside, and look at Mighty King. I was about to say through goes Mighty King, but it isn't that sort of moment. But Mighty King spots the mistake from Neb and manages to make one overtake, and he improves his position up into P6. Championship, Matthew and Mick going side by side there through Stowe. And I think that is Zalagi who has entered the pits. These two are still going to be side by side. Mick has the outside as they go into Vale. And is he going to try and hold it? Yes, he does. Matthew's gone off the track there slightly. I don't know if he thinks that Mick probably pushed him off. They're still going to be side by side as we go down the Hamilton straight into Abbey. They're still going to be side by side. Look at that. So much commitment from these two drivers. Is Mick going to try and back off? No, he's still going to try and send there. Ow, and Mick has been tapped there slightly by Matthew. And now we'll have to settle behind as they go through Village and the Loop. And look at Atom. Atom just sends one down the inside of the Mercedes. And Atom now, with that, improves into P10. A little bit twitchy to try and get past, but he isn't able to. But Atom and Matthew are going to go side by side through Cops. And how did they not make contact through there? Atom with a beautiful overtake around the outside of Cops. Definitely one of the moves of the race. Mick and Matthew going side by side there, as you can see in the background. Obviously, a lap or so ago, it was Matthew that made that move. And Matthew once again remakes that move. Mick and Matthew going side by side as you go down the Hangar straight. And that is Mick back up into P10. Oh, and DRS has been enabled, so it is drying up on my screen. There does seem to be a little bit of rain still falling, but now begs the question, oh, as Raven gets massive snap of oversteer, and that allows the Aston to get past, without even gives Zalagi an opportunity to send one down the inside. Raven then moving to the inside slightly to try and break the toe, and me saying how Raven was probably looking on for a potential podium is now even going to be trying, I think he's going to be battling to try and stay in the top 5. Oh no, Wizzy has got past. I was completely blind with that. Zalagi, though, trying to make a move down the inside of the Ferrari. Side by side they are as they go through Luffield. And is Zalagi going to be able to try and keep in front of Raven? It won't be on track, though, but Raven is going to try and hold it around the outside. Zalagi just has to tuck him behind. Banjo has retired in the pits. When you can see Zalagi, he's very close on that front wing shot. And he sends one down the inside of Raven. And is he passed? As we go to Raven's POV, he's still there on the outside, a little bit of contact, and Zalagi has got it done. Raven now in P6, and as Reese will come round the final corner. Raven has got past Zalagi, so I'm not seeing this. I'm seeing Reese coming through Club to win the British Grand Prix. Jacob will have to settle for P2, and I think he will just be able to hold it with penalties. Runs out of fuel on the line. Wizzy Boy will take P3. Alfie will take P4. Zalagi will stay in front of Raven, but he will drop down on his penalties, so Raven will be in P5. Mighty King right behind him, P6. Luke will finish in P8. And we wait for Mick to cross the line in P9, but it'll be P10 after his penalties have been applied. Choke will then get P9. Neb oversteering across the line there. He'll get P11. Cynthium P12. So Atom will finish in P13. Isn't able to get in front. White Josh now round the final corner, and he will finish in P14. The Deep Cave now crosses the line to take P15. And then obviously there was another driver further back in P16.